What's up guys, JV2017 here, and I am bringing you a new Fallout 4 tips and tricks video, and we are continuing my companion guide series with everyone's favorite Diamond City reporter. Just a quick reminder guys, this is your hub for daily Fallout 4 content here on YouTube, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't already and stay tuned on my channel for daily Fallout 4 tips and tricks videos. Today I'm sharing my companion guide for Piper, the Commonwealth journalist who is quite literally obsessed with the news and finding the truth. And in this video we'll discuss how to get Piper, what her special stats are, how to max out her affinity, and finally the effectiveness of her companion perk. But before we begin, let's talk about Piper's background. She grew up in a smaller settlement outside of the Commonwealth with her father, who was a member of the local militia, and her younger sister, Nat. One day, her father was found dead after he discovered that the captain of the settlement allowed raiders to sack the place in exchange for some of the loot. So Piper decided to expose the truth by making wanted papers and distributing them throughout the settlement, which caused the people to throw out the captain that murdered her father. Piper and Nat moved to Diamond City, where she started the Publick Occurances newspaper, which focuses on investigative journalism. The people in Diamond City grew to dislike her methods as she received death threats and even assassination attempts. So the player finds Piper after she's thrown out of Diamond City by Mayor McDonough for criticizing him. And that's where her story picks up in Fallout 4. So her location is literally just outside of Diamond City. She's trying to get in because she's been exiled, and that's where you can find her. It's obviously very easy. I mean, I'm going to show you guys on the map here, but Diamond City is something that everyone should know that plays Fallout 4. She is just sitting out there waiting for you to get her. So in order to actually have her as your companion, you'll need to talk to her and she'll have to get you access into Diamond City. Then you'll have to sit through this conversation with the mayor here, and that's just kind of awkward, you know, about the news and the truth and her being exiled. And then once you've done that, you will get the story of the century, which is the little quest that you have to do in order to get her for your companion. But all this quest requires is that you go into her news place, Publick Occurances, and talk to her for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then you've got her as your companion. So she's very, very easy to get very early in the game. Piper's hidden special stats are 5 strength, 10 perception, 7 endurance, 10 charisma, which is the highest of any companion, 8 intelligence, 10 agility, and then 8 luck for 58 total points. So the main takeaway here is that she's the most charismatic character you can find. However, it doesn't really affect anything in the game. As I've said before, I don't believe the special stats really do affect the companions in any way because they're really just inward towards your own character. So this is just something interesting to know. Obviously, she's a reporter. She's going to be the most charismatic companion that you can have. Additionally, she has 150 carry weight, which is standard across most companions, and no immunity, so she's not immune to radiation or poison, nothing like that. She's just a human, so that's normal. Moving on, let's talk about companion affinity with Piper. So you'll do things out in the world, you'll make certain choices, dialogue, actions, and Piper will react to those things, and she'll tell you what she thinks in the top left corner. So you'll see Piper liked that, she disliked that, she loved that, she hated that. All of those things affect an invisible meter that you can't actually find in the game, which is frustrating, but it's out of 1,000 points. So for example, if you do something she likes, it'll go up. If you do something she hates, it'll go down even more than if she just disliked that. Once you max out that invisible affinity bar, you will gain access to her companion perk, which is something we'll talk about towards the end of the video. But also keep in mind, once you get it, you have it, and then you can take another companion with you. You'll still have her perk. However, you have to remain in good standing with her. If you do something she doesn't like over and over, you may lose that maximum affinity and therefore lose the perk. Piper is also romanceable, and she doesn't care if you're a male or a female. She likes both genders, so if you want to go after that, you absolutely can. You'll just need the maximum affinity to do so. With regards to affinity, Piper does have specific preferences and opinions on how she's going to react to certain things, and you can actually predict that. So you can play in a certain way as to increase her affinity or decrease it if you want to do that for whatever reason. So starting us off is her general affinity. These are general ways that you can treat people out in the world, and then Piper will react accordingly. So first off, she likes when the player is generous or mean, which is kind of weird. So you kind of have to strike a balance between being generous in some situations and mean in others in order to increase her affinity that way. She also dislikes it when the player is selfish, peaceful, or violent, which is kind of a weird cocktail of reactions. I'm not sure why she's like that. Of course, she is a character, so she is complex, but the idea is that if you want to get her affinity up by using her general affinity opinions, then you'll need to be generous and help people out instead of being selfish. You'll need to be mean in situations where the player can either be mean or peaceful, and then you don't want to be violent. Piper just does not like that. She also has more specific affinity preferences, which is pretty much her likes and dislikes in regards to how the player does certain things, certain actions out in the world. So, for example, she likes it when the player heals Dogmeat, which is something a lot of the morally good characters like, and she also likes it when the player picks unowned locks. So these are just locks out in the world, ones that are not owned by friendly players. I'm pretty sure if a raider owns a lock, she's going to be fine with it, but for example, you're not going to be able to pick a lock in Diamond City and her like it. She will actually dislike that. And that brings us to her dislikes. She doesn't like it when the player eats corpses, which is hilarious. That's also for pretty much every good character. None of them like that. She also doesn't like it when you murder non-hostile people. She doesn't like it when you pick owned locks. Like I said, for Diamond City, if you try to pick like Arturo's lock for his house, she's not gonna like that. She also doesn't like it when you steal anything or pickpocket anyone. So if you're playing an evil character and you don't want to deal with all that, I totally understand. There's actually a way to boost her affinity up, and this is a method you can actually use for several morally good characters in the comfort of your own settlement. In order to do this, you'll need a few things. First, you'll need Dogmeat and Piper. So you'll need to get Dogmeat from Red Rocket. That's obviously really easy to do. I'm sure a lot of you already have them by the time you're getting Piper. And you'll need plenty of stim packs. So you need 3 things: Piper, Dogmeat, and plenty of stim packs at your settlement of choice. Once you've got that, you need to make sure that Dogmeat is your companion instead of Piper, but just make sure you send Piper to the same settlement that you're at so that she's in the same area. Also, you may need to make a bell, and this bell ring, you can ring it in order to get all of the people in your settlement in one location. I'm sure you guys are familiar, but it's really easy to make. It only requires wood and steel, which is something that you should have at every single settlement. So the point of that is to make sure that Piper and Dogmeat are in the same vicinity. And the reason you want Dogmeat as your companion is we're going to be shooting him and then healing him over and over and over. So in order for Piper to like that, Dogmeat has to be, near Piper. That's the point of the bell. So you're going to shoot Dogmeat until he goes down and requires a stim pack. So this is the action that Piper will like, and she'll say that she likes it in the top left of the screen, as you can see right now. So once you've actually done that and brought Dogmeat back up, you're going to pause the game and then make a quick save, not a normal save. This doesn't work with a normal save. You'll just need to make sure that you're doing a quick save. And then once you've done that, you're going to pause the game once again and then load that very same quick save. So the reason we're doing this is to avoid the game's kind of delay in how long you have to wait in order to have a companion like the same action within a certain amount of time. So we're just avoiding that and having the same action, give us the same result over and over. So as you can see, I loaded back up from the loading screen. It wasn't too long. I downed Dogmeat and then I gave him the stim pack. Piper liked that again, and then I'm gonna quick save, load, and then rinse and repeat. So you guys can see how this works. You just do this over and over and over until Piper talks to you, and then in the top left it'll say maximum affinity, you have her perk. Speaking of which, let's talk about her companion affinity perk, and it's called Gift of Gab. So what this does for the player is you receive double XP for speech challenges, so that's passing certain speech checks in the game, and also discovering new locations. It's important to know that this is a non-combat companion perk. So obviously if you're comparing it to something like Preston's perk or Paladin Dance's perk, McCready's perk, some of the best companion perks in my opinion, this is not going to stack up to them just because it's not combat related. However, if you are a charisma-based character, you are all about passing those speech checks in order to get certain incentives within the game, then absolutely Piper's the best companion for you. And if you want to take some time away from side quests and main quests to just explore, then obviously having her companion perk with you is great. You get double XP for discovering new locations. There are almost 300 locations in this game, and so obviously it makes a great deal of sense to have that perk with you. You don't have to have Piper with you, of course, because once you get it, you can just bring another character along with you, but Gift of Gab is great for that too. Lastly, people have been asking me what kind of gear should we give Preston Garvey, for example, as our companion, and honestly, gear is something I really don't mess with my companions. However, you could absolutely mess with it if you wanted to. Piper already has the press cap on her head that provides 1 intelligence, so beyond that, I wouldn't change anything unless you just want to make Piper look different. You don't want her to wear whatever outfit she already comes with. You want her to wear, this kind of armor, that kind of armor. You could absolutely change that. I don't think it's super essential for a companion, but you could do that. Also, I wouldn't advise that you guys give your companion a weapon unless you're willing to give them ammo for it. So all of the companions come with default weapons that have unlimited rounds. You don't have to give them ammunition. However, if you do give Piper a weapon, she'll need the ammo for that weapon, and that's okay if you're giving her like a 38 weapon, but if it's something like 10mm or something that you're actually going to use, then that's kind of annoying. You have to keep giving her ammo, and that's just a whole thing that you'll have to deal with. So that's really up to you guys if you want to do that. I don't think it makes your companion that much better. I guess you could give them a Gauss rifle if you're not going to use Gauss rifles, and they will tear through enemies, but that's really up to you. So I'd like to know, after watching this video, are you going to use Piper? Will you go get her and explore with her around the world? Does she sound like an interesting companion to have along with you? I think she provides some interesting banter. She's pretty sarcastic and snarky, so if you like that kind of character to bring along with you, if you're tired of Deacon, for example, who's one of my favorite companions, then you can bring Piper along, and that can be fun as well. Although her companion perk is not super useful unless you're a combat-based character, I think she's a nice change of pace. She's a nice, break away from the combat-based companions like Dance, McCready, Preston, like I already explained before, and that's really where I like Piper in this game. So let me know what you all think about her in the comment section below. Alright guys, today I shared everything you need to know about Piper in Fallout 4, and next time we will cover more Fallout on my channel, so stay tuned for daily Fallout 4 tips and tricks videos, and remember that this is your hub for Fallout 4 content on YouTube. If you learned something new, remember to hit that like button, I would really appreciate it, and don't forget to subscribe for more unique weapon guides, build guides, and general tips and tricks videos. Talk to you guys next time, peace.